Did you hear my sump pump go off?
No. Uh-oh.
It's going off.
So much rain.
Off. Yeah, it's going off a lot. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Ready to go.
Sure.
St. Thomas proud.
That's us.
You know
Samuel
me.
Adams.
Yeah, that's me. This is due to underwhelming demand. It's a podcast. We're Dave, Rachel, and Forman. Normally, I would do, this podcast is like something, but I thought I would start off differently. This podcast is not like a summer breeze, which is welcome and refreshing. That
makes you feel fine. Not us, though. Summer breeze.
It makes you feel fine. Thank you, Rachel.
Feel fine.
However, I can tell you this podcast is brought to you by Rachel.
Campbell Amusements.
Of course.
They're back.
Yay.
Yes, thanks to Campbell Amusements for being a sponsor. They've got lots of fairs coming up in this area, kind of late summer in the Ontario, southwestern Ontario area. But coming up this weekend is Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. There's a fair happening there. And
wait a second.
Yes.
We're doing Bridgewater,
listen,
Nova.
Yes,
we got the South Shore exhibition is coming, the Big X, and Washboard Union's going to be there.
Really?
So are the rides.
That's cool. Oh, the Washboard Union's going to be there. That's
wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's a party.
We are promoting the Bridgewater Fair.
Yeah.
Is that what is it called, Forman? What's
The
it called?
South Shore exhibition.
Okay. South Shore of what? Nova Scotia?
Yes.
Thank you.
By the
Good.
way,
Great.
they say update, attention please, if there are any light horse entries that do not plan on attending the Big X, please contact the office as soon as possible.
Okay, good. Got that.
Okay,
Got
what
that.
are
Well, I don't know what
horse
that has
entries?
to do with Campbell
Light horse
Brothers.
entries.
Campbell Amusements. Campbell
Yes.
Amusements.
Yes.
No, well, they bring the Midway to the South Shore X, the
Yes,
Big
they
X.
do.
Yeah.
In
They even
Bridgewater,
start with
Nova
a
Scotia.
toonie day at Campbell Amusements for the Midway at the Big X.
Yes, you can do that. And if you're going to buy family packs online, you can buy them ahead of time. And we've got a promo code for you. You can save money. Yes, you go to campbellamusements.com. If you want to save money on ride tickets, you can go there and get advance tickets. Use the promo code DUD, due to underwhelming
that's
demand.
us.
That's us.
Yes.
And you'll save $20 on family packs. So I did just go in and I tried to get a 4-pack of tickets or wristbands or whatever it
For
is.
Bridgewater?
to the South
For
Shore.
Bridgewater.
Okay.
And
got
yes,
it.
it gave me $20 off. So
Good
there you
deal.
go.
Good deal.
Yes.
Use
Yeah,
the
20
code.
bucks off.
Yes.
Deal, yeah. You
Don't
go
be
on. Well, if you're on the South Shore, you go online.
Yeah.
Online. Go online.
You go online, save $20.
Use the
boom,
promo
done.
code.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to use
done.
the code. Please use the code. That's what it's there for. Don't be crazy.
Yeah.
You can save money. Use the code.
Okay, so the fair or the Midway is going to be at the fair July 24th to 28th. You can go to campbellamusements.com, use the promo code DUD when you're buying your family packs of
Good deal.
tickets.
Mhm.
Save
deal.
money.
It's the same code will work for the fair in Woodstock in August and in Barrie
Yep.
in August and in Paris on Labor Day weekend as well.
All right.
I always
Those
go to the
fairs-
Paris Fair because I love the Paris Fair. It's one of the bigger ones, so I like to go to that one.
They got Jade Eagleson this year.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
They always have a big country night. Last year they had Tim Hicks, and I saw him warming up.
Oh,
I
you
was
go.
there to hear warm up at the Paris Fair. So yeah, Bridgewater,
Left
July
before
24th,
the show.
24th to 28th. Yeah, well, the kids weren't going to stay. I didn't have tickets for the actual show. I know.
Okay. All right.
I know.
Well, look, Paris is one of the great towns. Paris is delightful.
It is
truly
really,
is.
yeah. It is,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a
I
cute
mean,
little downtown.
No Eiffel Tower, but it's delightful.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
the
got-
river's a little bit cleaner than the other one,
True.
Is
Good
it?
point.
Okay,
Good point.
I'll
Good
take your
point.
word for
I
that.
assume.
All right.
So
All right.
we'll see how the Olympic swimmers fare.
Oh. All right. Thank you to Campbell Amusements. Okay, I want to bring up something that last time I talked about something that I did that I know you guys would never do. Well, now I'm reading something that I know you guys would never read.
Perfect.
And I'm very into this book.
We'll be so happy to weigh in.
I knew you would. I knew you would. And it's a very popular book series right now. It's called A Court of Thorns and Roses, or ACOTAR.
I actually know all about it.
You've heard about it?
Yes.
How come?
There's someone in my family who I'm very close to who's actually reading those books right now too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I just finished book 2 of it's a 5-book series. This one, by Sarah Maas. It's a book talk, TikTok book talk thing, and so it's been all over there. And now I am nerding out about this book series as much as you two nerded out about Game of Thrones, and it's actually kind of like Game of Thrones. I feel like.
I think we're nerdier when it comes to the Beatles than we ever were about
no. When Game of Thrones was on, you guys talked about it on end.
Well, but you didn't know what we were talking about, and we did that on purpose.
Which
you
was
had no
fine
idea
because I could get work done. But
yeah,
you talked about it on end all morning long, all day. It's on end.
What's this book series
Your
called?
theories. It's called A Court of Thorns and Roses. That's the
it
first
sounds like
one.
it's the same thing.
It sounds the same.
It kind of does. It's okay. So this one, my friend told me about it, and I was like, that. She said, okay, it's a book. It's about fairies and like humans and the fairy world, and then how that crosses over, and there's like high lords of all the kingdoms, and I'm like, that does not sound like Confessions of a Shopaholic. Like, that does not sound the same as what I would normally read. So, and she's like, just try it. And I'm like, okay. So I was in Florida a little while ago, and I was like, I need a book to read. I didn't bring a book. So I found this one at Target. I bought it, and I was
Name that state. I'm going to read a magazine. I'm going to take a nap.
well, I didn't read a magazine. I read a book. I read a book, and it was so good. I was totally hooked. So then I'm like trying to, I put them on hold at the library to check them out of the library because everyone's got them on hold. So you have to wait.
Costco, just go to Costco. They have them all.
I've heard they have them all. Yeah. So now I need to read. I just finished the second book, and it left me on a cliffhanger. So now I'm like, I need the third book. Where is it? I'm still waiting on hold at the library.
It's right over here.
Oh, you have it. Good. I'll borrow that from you.
It's in my book room. Yeah. No.
If you're reading this book series, it's like it's addicting for anyone who's read it. I don't know if men would read it. I don't know if men would like it though. But there is some violence.
Nudity? There's not. Okay. There's violence.
There's blatant nudity and there's blatant violence. Yeah.
Well, I will read it when the TV show comes out.
Yeah, when the TV show comes out, I will read it.
And I have heard that they are or people are hoping that there's a TV show. I don't know if there for sure is going to be one, but I hope that it would be the same as like Game of Thrones. Like I could totally see it as a TV show like that. But now I'm so nerdy that I'm looking up reels of it, and people make like AI art of all the characters on Instagram.
That's very nerdy.
So now I look them up, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you think they would look like. Yeah, okay, I could see that. And I spend my nights doing that.
Wow.
While I wait for book 3.
my wife is into this. She just started the second book now. That was one of the things that she wanted for her birthday. Her birthday is the beginning of May. So I had no idea what it was, nor did I really care what it was, but I know if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get, and she does a lot of reading. She travels, as we have discussed, I've talked to you about, she takes the bus a lot now, and she actually is starting to prefer Forman. I know this is hard to believe, but she prefers the bus because when she gets to work...
No, it would be hard to believe if you preferred the bus.
Well, it would be hard for me. Yeah. When she gets to work, and she works, at Victoria Hospital, and there's a lot of people. Believe me, I've dropped her off at work first thing in the morning. It's a zoo. I mean, it's a madhouse. People
everybody
leaving, people coming in. And
right.
she goes, we go by in the bus, and they let me, and I see all the people lined up to get into the parking garage, and they're all trying to get in, and then they got to find a space. And all I do is get off my bus, and I walk right into my office. It's perfect, really.
Yeah.
And so now she's reading a lot because that's how she's
on the bus.
She's on the bus.
That's
You
a
know?
skill.
Yeah.
If you can be on the bus,
True.
like sitting sideways, whatever, it's stopping, it's starting, it's moving, and to
Yep.
not get
and
sick
you're reading.
and read.
And
That's-
you're reading, yeah.
Wow.
So she's
Yeah.
gone through quite a few. She got some books for Christmas that she wanted. Finished all those by the time spring arrived, her birthday, and said something about this thing, and I went, okay. They had it at Costco. They had they have the whole series. It's all there. You can buy it all
Yes,
in one
I've
big
seen it.
fell swoop.
Yep.
And so, happy birthday. Here's your books. And so the consensus is, do you like it? Because I want her to. If I'm buying you a gift, I want you to like.
You want her to like it?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I said, hey, how's the new book? Well, I don't know. It's not really my thing. And I said, well,
Yeah. I
well,
didn't
it's
think it
sort
would be
of
my thing either.
It's sort of a fantasy thing. I said, what do you mean like Game of Thrones? And she just looks at me and goes, I never watched Game of Thrones, nor would I ever watch. I'm like, okay, sorry, I can't help you. I don't know. I can't. So
Well, I did get into Game of Thrones when just before the last season came out, because you guys were so obsessed with it. And I couldn't stomach a lot of the violence, so I would watched a lot with my eyes like peeking through my fingers. But I did kind of get used to it, and so then. But when you're reading the violence, it's not as bad as watching it. I feel like it doesn't affect me as much because I'm reading it, so I'm not watching. I think
You have to visualize
it's different.
You have to create it
Yeah.
in your own mind.
yeah, and that's
Right.
part of reading a book.
So
That's
it's
what makes
not.
books great.
It doesn't make. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Because normally I would never pick up a book that has violence. That would be like a fantasy, weird worlds. Like I would never do that. But this one, people are totally into. And this author has written a lot of other series, too, that people have also read and you go on to read. And that's the other thing I'm looking up online is, what do you read after? What do I do after I read this whole series? What do I get into? So then people have suggestions of what you can read. Anyway, I'm being very nerdy. And I had the book out, and it was only a 2-week loan because it's so in demand. So I had to read this like 650-page book in 2 weeks.
How
but
are
I
you
did
doing
it.
that? How are you doing that? Where do you do that?
I'm reading all the time. And it's good because I this year was like, I gotta read more. I gotta try and read more. I gotta sit down and read. I never just sit down and read. I gotta get off my phone. So I'm doing it with these books.
Okay. Well, good
But
for
then
you.
you're on
So
your
if
phone
you've read them,
watching
now
the
I'm on my
reels.
phone watching
you're
reels
on-
about the book, waiting for the third book.
So it's really keeping you off your phone.
Yeah. Well,
Got
it
it.
was for a while, for 2 weeks.
If you're looking
anyways.
for something to read after, and this is how in tune with the community I am.
Are you?
is that
Okay.
Last week they revealed this year's new selection in the Oxford Reads program.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The Oxford Reads
And it's
program.
written by
Like
Emily
Oxford
Austin,
County?
who's from St. Thomas.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
it has the most captivating and uplifting title you could ever even imagine. I don't know how you wouldn't be into this when you hear the title, and it is Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead.
I'm in.
Okay. Well, I
Sign
mean,
me
that's
up.
a fact. That's true. Unless you're in the books that I'm reading and then they're immortal. So I'm just saying.
This is due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that will make you forget the LCBO is on strike.
It might make you want it more.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you. Oh, damn it.
I can't go buy anything. Got to deal with these three.
Hey, it's
That's
summertime in Ontario.
Yeah,
Doug
so-
made a map.
Okay. Listen, I actually would like to talk about the LCBO.
We are talking about
not being
Oh,
open.
good,
I
okay.
actually would. Now, first of all, I don't want to turn this political. I really don't. If I wanted to do Dave's political rant podcast,
No.
there are
a
10
bad
million,
idea.
there are 10 million other podcasts like that. Go find one. I'm not doing that. That's not. I don't really care whose side you're on all this. I just feel like, what about us? What about us poor Ontarians caught in the middle?
Yeah.
How the hell did the LCBO go on strike? Who let that happen? Can somebody explain to me?
They're allowed to do that.
Oh, I understand that.
How did you let it get to this
But
point?
how
is the
did
point,
this
right?
happen?
You know what? I haven't even really been following why they're on. I don't follow any of. I sit in my basement, and quite frankly, we're not drinking very much right now. My husband can't really drink. He's had a couple beers since being sick, so it doesn't really affect me.
You're reading the Game of Thrones light. Why would you care about? I mean, I literally the LCBO in my neighborhood is in a parking lot where there's a farm boy and a dollar store and a brand new GT boutique. So we were there the other day.
Moving on up.
Yes, we were there the other day to go to the Farm Boy.
I love Giant Tiger. I do. I really do love it.
Anyway, we're there, and I think it was Sunday. So the strike, I don't know what day we're at here, but it just started. I think on the Friday or Saturday. I don't know when it started. And so I'm parking. We're parking the car, and I see this guy. He's got his, one of those LCBO bags where you can put 3 or 4 bottles in the wine bottles or whatever.
Separates
and he's
them.
got it. Yeah, it separates them.
Yeah,
he's got it under his arm, and he's heading toward the LCBO. It's like 3 p.m, and I thought to myself, how? And he was, I'm ballparking 55 to 60 years old. I'm like, how do you not know?
It's not open right now.
How do you? And he walks up and he gets close to the door and he sees all the F Doug signs in the window and all that stuff, and he realizes, oh, I guess they're not open. Maybe I did hear something about that.
People don't watch the news. They don't
wondering
keep
why
up
there's
with
a lot
anything.
of protesters in front?
People don't listen to the news. They don't get their news on social media. If it's not being put in front of their face, they're not getting it.
I think some people get it. I think people.
Very few people actually seek it out. But it's not being put in front of their face.
Lots of local news every afternoon on 104.7.
Okay, well,
that's all right. All right. Nice plug. Here's the thing. So
and I'm the journalist.
Yeah. So
I actually do work for the London Free Press.
Recently,
even I know that.
We had the, I believe the border, not guards, but the border, the customs people.
Canadian Border Services.
Yeah, they threatened to go on, hey, and then we're going to work to rule, and we're going to do all of this stuff. And anybody that's traveling, if you're going across the land border, or even if you fly, you're going to have to deal with these people. You're like,
right.
oh boy, somebody's got to fix that. Someone will fix that. And sure enough, someone fixed that. Someone within the federal government went, okay, we're not going to allow that to happen. We'll settle this thing. We can't have that. We can't.
Right.
And
LCBO is equally as important.
Yes, that's what I think. Like the Western
Well, we were essential during the pandemic.
That's right.
Well, the LCBO and beer store were essential. They had to be open.
Good
for all of us to be able to drink.
Right. Yes.
Well, look at WestJet. I mean, WestJet, a couple of things happened, and they went without mechanics for like a day. Flights are canceled everywhere, and they went, well, we better maybe fix that. And it gets fixed pretty quick. Right. I'm just sitting here going, yes, you're right. There was an essential service. Who dropped this ball? Like, what ball got dropped here that we have this situation?
Well, each side would say the other side. I don't know. But yeah. But it's not like you can't buy this stuff elsewhere. You can.
Okay, well, all right. Thank you, Mr. Ford, for clearing that up for us.
I'm just saying it's true. Yeah. It is true. I know that they're mad about that.
Well, they just want to know that
fair.
if Doug has a plan to sell everything they sell in every other store, what is he planning to do about them having jobs in those stores?
Right.
Right.
That's true.
Well,
They want to know, am I still going to be working?
Yep.
Or once this goes on sale everywhere,
yeah.
then I'm cut. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, but okay, it's one thing for once this stuff goes on sale everywhere, and then we won't care. And it's not like and I get it. I enjoy going to the LCBO. I'm a beer nerd. I go, I look around, see if they have anything new. Sometimes I walk in, don't buy a thing, and just walk out. That's what I do. I'm not really an alcohol person. It's just the beer thing, so it's not really a necessary thing. I've been able to buy beer I can go to a brewery, I can go to a grocery store. It doesn't really matter to me. What I don't understand is who let this happen. Come on, Somebody come to their. It's summertime in Ontario. It's the time of year where we're chilling. We're having a good. Maybe we're having family over. Maybe we're having a pool party. Maybe we're doing. And the last thing you want is, what would be great if we could make some margaritas by the pool. Mm-hmm. Damn, that's a great idea. Do we have tequila? No. I'll just rush over to the. I'll get some. I'll go to the LCBO. Oh no, I can't. I can't do that. Oh, well, what else can we make? Well, what about pina colada? No, never mind. We can't do that.
It certainly puts a damper on summer.
Do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't understand how it was so essential, a couple of years ago, and now it's not that essential.
Well, maybe somebody could explain that to me because I don't understand.
How did that change?
I don't know where all the can't have government control and a monopoly. Like, who doesn't like the LCBO?
That's true.
It's a good store. They are one of the largest buyers of alcohol in the whole freaking world. That's why they have so much selection of everything. Mm-hmm. Your corner store isn't going to get their hands on the rare, weird, and wonderful stuff.
Yes.
Right. That's
true. It's just being able to go to the LCBO is one of those things that's truly Ontarian.
Yes, it's nice.
You can't do that anywhere else.
It's true.
Don't take
and
it
I
away
like how
from
they
us
have different selections at different stores, and you can find different new things. Yeah, I like that.
It's an Ontario thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a summer without the LCBO is like I don't even know what to say.
It's a sad summer.
It's a sad summer.
Oh, there's no summer breeze blowing through there.
Hey, did you see you can rent Doug's old cottage on Airbnb for $750 a night?
Yeah, well, yeah, sure, but how am I going to stock the bar?
Well, he'll be next door in his brand new, much bigger mansion of a cottage.
With all the booze you could ever want.
Yes,
that's right.
That thing will be stocked.
Yeah.
It's like an LCBO warehouse in there.
This is due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman, the swamp ass of podcasts. Guaranteed to make you sweaty and uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's our job.
Yeah.
That is our job.
That's how I feel when I go out collecting all the Japanese beetles off of every living thing in my entire goddamn yard.
Oh, they're
in your yard?
In my yard.
They get in your yard.
They are on everything. A week ago, they were nowhere to be found, and now they're on everything. They're eating my tree. Like, my trees are dying. We have
really
6. There's 9 trees in our backyard. They're all
9.
Oaks. Yeah, all
Did you
these
plant them?
little skinny tall oaks, and they're getting bigger. Yes, I did.
Yes.
And now they're all getting eaten.
What color are the leaves when they're out? Are they green or?
Well, right now most of them are brown and full of holes.
Oh, okay.
But yes, otherwise they would be green.
Okay. No, because
I
it
hope
depends.
they're not killing the trees. Can they kill the trees?
No, they eat the leaves.
That's the emerald ash borer, isn't
They're not. Yeah. No.
These things just eat the leaves.
They're just eating.
Right.
Leaves.
Sure, the tree will end up surviving, but
I have.
They always eat my hosta leaves. Always.
Do they? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They have a habit of at my place anyway. There's a bush that has like a purple colored leaf. I would say purple. That it's not really purple, but sort of that color, and they love that. And they've been going after that bush for years. But and I think didn't we talk about this on the radio? How to get?
Didn't you have an issue in your backyard?
I did.
Dave?
Yeah, they were everywhere.
Didn't you use a vacuum or something?
Yeah, I was going to tell you, like, what are you doing, Foreman? What's your method?
well, I haven't resorted to vacuum yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get
Dave
to that.
used like a little hand vac. What is it?
You
dust
go
buster.
buy, just go buy yourself a hand vac.
But then don't they just live in the vacuum? Like, do they actually die in there?
Well, that was a problem that I had. We could get to that, but the idea is,
I don't think it
like,
kills
there's
them.
no real great way to get. Not that I've discovered, not that I've been able to ascertain. You know, if you put those, people will put traps up, but the traps attract even more of them. And essentially, I don't know anything about bugs, and I don't even know what this falls on. Is it entomology? Is that okay. I'm not an entomologist. I'm just going to suppose here.
You don't say.
But the Japanese beetles, they're very hardy. In other words, you can step on them and not be able to kill them.
Unless you hear them crack.
Yeah,
Ooh, I know.
They're very
Gross.
difficult to get rid of. And what they do is they arrive and they start munching away on your leaves. I think they're feeding, but essentially they're also trying to attract other Japanese beetles, because what they really want to do is,
make more.
Mate.
More Japanese beetles.
Yeah, and you see an awful lot of beetle on top of beetle.
You can watch them do it.
Yep.
You can see them on your
There's a
tree.
lot.
I didn't know that's what they were doing.
Oh,
That's what they're doing, Rach.
Yeah, that's what they've turned my home into, their own pleasure palace.
Boy.
It's like the
Pleasure palace.
It's like the grotto at the Playboy Mansion.
Yep.
Foreman's
Shea
estate.
Foreman.
Shea Foreman.
That's right. So,
Oh boy,
so
servicing
that's-
all of the Japanese beetles.
That's right. So that's basically what's happening, right? They arrive and they attract more, and the more of them there are, and so they feed on that. So you'll find
Okay,
them
but aren't you supposed to put them in like a bucket of soapy water? You like brush them off the leaf in the water,
that's
and then
not,
they die, and you can get rid of them.
Not that easy to do. You can't.
No.
That's where
Their little legs are good at clinging to the leaves.
That's where the
and you gotta
vacuum
touch
comes
them.
in. That's
Gross.
where the vacuum comes in. So
Okay.
I read this whole thing where you take the vacuum. I think I watched a video on YouTube, and you get one of those power vacs, a battery operated power vac.
Yeah.
And you suck them off your.
Well, I've got the blower, but it doesn't suck.
No, the blower won't
Can I
do
just
it.
blow them?
No. You gotta stick the
I gotta
thing on.
suck
and
them.
You've got to
them.
suck.
You gotta suck.
You can't blow.
You can't blow. You gotta suck, and you gotta get them off of there, and then they go into your vacuum, and then you gotta get them out of the vacuum, because if you don't get them out of the vacuum, this happened to me.
Then they live and reproduce
and
in
then
there.
I turned it, and this is fun for me because
It's its own pleasure palace
Sounds
in there.
so fun.
How old is your oldest? How old are you? How old are the
Harley's
kids?
11,
Okay, and your youngest?
and Emily's 7.
Okay, either one of them could get involved, so that's what they tell you in the video.
Oh, they have
Get
no
your-
interest. They think every flying anything is a bee about to sting them.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
scream like they're being stabbed.
Yeah, sounds like
I
my
got
house.
Charlotte
Everything.
involved. I just said, "Hey, you got to help me do this. You see if you can spot them on the tree, and then we'll take the vacuum." And then she would do, "Dad, can I do it?" Sure.
Oh,
you
can
go
she
ahead."
come over here,
Yeah,
please?
sure. Well, yeah, at 17, she's not coming over there now.
This was
You
years
got to
ago.
get him at the right time for him, and it's a whole Tom Sawyer sort of. Hey, this fence needs painting, and it's a lot of fun, right? Yes. So anyway, you get and that's the whole point. So you get them in the vacuum, and then that's when you get the pail of hot water, throw a little dishwater soap in there, and dump them into that as quickly as you can, because sucking them into the vacuum doesn't kill them.
No.
They
Right.
don't. So they get into the vacuum, and guess what they're doing in your vacuum while they're
Yes.
sitting in there. And what
Right.
happened with me once, I
You've
had
just
such
put
a
them all together
I
conveniently.
had
They're
such a
sucking and blowing.
yeah, I had such a successful day around the bush. I remember saying to Jana,
A
"I'll
successful
bet
day
you-"
around the bush.
Yeah,
eh?
I did. Look, you want me to keep going? You started it. So I haven't
haven't even heard what Foreman's done yet.
Yeah, why should the bugs have all the
Yeah,
fun?
that's right. So I got like 25 of them, I think, in the last 15 minutes. I got, and my wife, Jana's like, "Yeah, I don't care. I don't care." So I take it and put the vacuum. I got to charge the vacuum, so I put it in my little shed and I charge the vacuum. And my shed is wide open, and so I leave it there overnight.
Oh, so everyone gets to see.
Yeah, well, and when I arrived when I came out the next morning, I had Japanese beetles all over the floor, all over the walls. They were everywhere. They were everywhere because
Gross.
I've got a crowd in my vacuum.
Yeah.
So, yeah, empty the vacuum.
Okay.
Okay. So what have you tried, Foreman?
Okay, I haven't done the vacuum yet.
Try
Okay.
the
And
vacuum.
I'm avoiding the trap because I know for sure, and I've looked this up now, that they
It
do
attracts
bring more
more.
beetles to your yard than are already there, and
It's like
they only
milkshakes
catch
for me.
75% of the beetles they attract. So
Yeah.
Okay.
25% are still
Yeah.
out and about.
Okay.
And you do have to empty the trap every day, otherwise it acts as a repellent because they don't like the dead ones. So it's just full of dead ones, and they're not going to be attracted to it.
No.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, they want the live ones. You know why?
I feel like my mom gave me some kind of pellets to put around some of the plants they were eating.
They don't work. They don't work.
Doesn't work?
I don't think.
There's where I
know.
thought, okay, I might be onto something because they don't like dead ones being around.
Okay.
And
so leave the dead ones out.
You leave dead. I left I had
Okay.
I gathered up a whole bunch of dead ones, and they're in some of our flower pots. I know.
Yes.
So then left them in a little cup inside the pot, thinking that's going to keep them away.
And
it didn't do anything.
Oh.
It was still full of living ones.
That's good thinking, though. I'm impressed. That's
but
clever.
maybe it wasn't potent enough. And here's the other method I've read about, and I'm about ready to try, I must say.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah. It first says you want to get yourself a second-hand blender.
Oh, no.
So you don't want to reuse it in the kitchen.
Don't use the one that you're going to eat.
I don't like the sound of this.
No, that's a bad idea.
Add a little water and liquefy the bugs.
Well, how are you gonna? You gotta catch them first.
Well, yes, you gotta go around and catch them. Best time of day to do that is 7 p.m. when they're docile and they're not having their fun
Okay,
powers.
I've heard that. Yeah,
sure.
right, I've
Okay.
heard that.
You still have
Evening.
to pull them off the
Okay.
leaves because they cling to them.
Right.
Get as many as you can. Liquefy them in a blender.
Oh my god.
Strain out the parts. Add maybe a little more water, and then you spray your plants with the liquefied.
Good
Beetles.
luck with that. Are you gonna give that a go?
That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it does seem like a lot of work.
Just
I
rip
might
out
be
all your
doing that.
gardens and start over next year.
Look, I went through this whole
Rip
thing.
it all out.
Just do it,
I did
again.
this whole thing with the wolves where you spray this, spray that, you mix. They hate this, they hate that. Nope, didn't work. Didn't work.
Okay.
So, good luck.
Well, if you try that, I need a video. I need
Yeah, I
a
would
video
like to
of
see
you
that.
liquefying and spraying
if you're gonna
the
liquefy
beetle
them,
guts all over the place.
I would like to see that.
I
The
don't want to
traps
see it,
smell
but I
bad,
do.
So I can't imagine the smell of that.
Oh
either.
my! You can't do that in the house. Don't do it in the house. Your wife will kill you.
Can I borrow a blender, by the way?
No. Mm-mm.
I'm sure you have one, Rach. Don't you?
Oh, I've got one. If you
Yeah.
borrow
I'll give it
that, you're
back.
buying me a new one. Yeah, really.
This is due to Underwhelming Demand. It's a podcast. It's Dave, Rachel, and Forman, and this fine podcast has been brought to you by Campbell's Amusements. Thank you very much. Once
Yeah,
again,
Campbell Amusements. They're doing the fairs at, Bridgewater, Nova Scotia is coming up because we know some people are in Nova Scotia listening. Woodstock, they're doing the Midway there. Woodstock, Ontario, Barrie, and Paris. If you're going to any of those, you can use promo code DUD, due to Underwhelming Demand, DUD, at CampbellAmusements.com. If you're buying early bird family packs of tickets, that'll save you $20 on family packs.
Yes. So, Lindsay, Scotty, David, others in Nova Scotia, tell everyone to use the promo code DUD.
Yes. Yeah.
Get $20 off
DUD.
of the South Shore exhibition.
There you
Yeah,
go.
if you're going,
CampbellAmusements.com.
might as
Go
well.
there. Use the code. Use the code. And if you would like to, if you're interested, if you know somebody who might be interested in sponsoring this fine podcast, you can get a hold of us.
You can, DaveRachelForman@gmail.com. If you want to email us, we'll send you all the pricing information. And if you feel like you're the right fit, we would love to have you on with us.
This is the portion of the podcast where we read some of your communication with us. If you would, same thing, by the way, you can get a hold of us, DaveRachelForman@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email or on any of our of the social platforms, you can get a hold of us. We love to hear from you.
We really do. Yeah.
Especially when it's praise.
Oh, yeah. Have you got some praise? Have you got praise?
Well, there's a few people are discovering me on that other radio station, and so
Oh,
Dan
yes.
Dan asks, when did Forman start on Heart FM? I live in Woodstock and occasionally listen to that station, but I don't have a long drive anymore. Well, I started near the end of June, and so I'm on there 2 to 7 weekday afternoons, Dan.
Check him out.
Okay.
I've
104.7, right?
I have heard Forman.
You've been
104.7.
listening? Good.
Yeah, I've heard him.
Good.
Yes, I have.
He's the same. So if you want more Forman, Heart FM.
Foreman.
Yeah, Dave's biting his tongue on what he heard.
No,
and whether he liked it or not.
Do you have a critique, Dave, or what's that?
I don't think we're going to do that right now.
Okay, all right.
Maybe on a future podcast we can.
Well,
we could do an air check. How's that for him?
On another note, if you're
like
looking for a radio consultant, Dave's in the business.
Yes. Terry left us a comment saying, glad to hear you are on my local station in Woodstock now, Forman.
Nice.
Oh,
I gave
nice.
up on regular radio after the three of you left. I will be listening for sure on my drive home daily.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad that you're back. Radio is a very, I still believe, a vital media. So please don't give up on radio.
Yes.
Don't give up. Don't give
Angela
up.
says, congratulations, Forman. I'll have to listen to Heart FM in the afternoon now. I, too, am in Woodstock. So, yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Nice. Yeah, hey, it's
That's
all
really
about, you know, if you're in Tillsonburg, Ingersoll, Stratford.
Anywhere Oxford, even in London, you get it.
Well, yeah, sure. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
can
get
hear
it here.
You can
Yeah.
hear it.
Adam would like to follow that up by saying they are so lucky to have you. I guess that means at Heart FM. But then Adam says, I wish you were back with Melody.
Oh, he must be in Nova
Which
Scotia.
is nice. Yeah, Adam, have you heard of the promo code DUD for the
Yes.
South Shore exhibition?
Campbell
Yes.
Amusements.
Use that.
Don't forget.
Yes.
Don't forget.
But thank you. Yeah, I miss
right.
talking to Melody every day too. So
Oh, I'm sure she misses you.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody bought us 5 coffees and they didn't give a name, so I don't even know who to thank for this. It just says someone bought you 5 coffees and they say I've listened to you since the beginning of the podcast and enjoy every episode. I watch them on YouTube. I love seeing your expressions. I just watched the Icky Sticky episode. I live in that town and I'm nervous to go out now.
Oh,
That was
the
when
Icky
I
Sticky.
went out for dinner in
yeah.
Stratford. Yeah, she says,
Yes.
thanks, Rachel. On the upside, Dave, the Service Ontario has great service in Stratford. It only took me
Does
10
it?
minutes. Yeah.
That's
She
handy.
says,
That's
she
handy
or
to
he,
know.
I don't know. Keep up the
Handy.
good work. I look forward to Tuesdays to get a good laugh. Well,
Oh,
thank you very much for buying
Thank
us a
you.
coffee. If you
Yeah.
want to buy us a coffee, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/underwhelming. That's our page there.
we've had comments from time to time that we've read from Daryl Van Moorsel.
Yes,
Yes.
Daryl gave me some headlines. Yeah.
He did.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the
so
most
Daryl
recent.
called me at Heart FM the other day, and he said
Really?
he must be watching the podcast because he said he was busting a gut at what we did a few weeks ago, and I said, "Oh gosh, what did I
Can't
say?" And he
imagine.
said,
What did we
"It
do?"
was the look on your face when Dave had the headline about the guy's colon falling out." And then Rachel brought up the butthole, and
Yeah. Because that's what I thought. That's where it typically lands. So,
yeah.
okay.
Jamie says, remember, Dave, a few weeks ago you were talking about being at graduation, and it was great to be a Collins because you're
Yeah, it's over quick.
is out of there. Well, Jamie says, my last name starts with a V.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. You're there
So
till the
sitting
end.
through,
You could have, you know what? I mean, I don't know who did they leave us a first name because you could have had my seat. I would have, like I'm out of there, in the first quarter.
I thought you were
didn't have-
standing at
to
the
see
back
it.
door ready
Yeah,
to leave.
yeah.
Your
I
back's
had
on
a
the
seat.
door.
No, I had a seat.
Oh, did you?
But
Okay.
You could have had that. You didn't have to come don't come at the beginning, whatever you do, if your
No.
name starts with V.
well,
Don't.
Jamie
Right.
said, yeah, sitting through 2 graduations like that for myself and my brother was not very fun.
No, it wouldn't be.
It can be
No.
long. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh boy, what's okay, here's another good one then. This was from I guess a couple of weeks ago while hockey was still on.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
From
I
Terry.
see. Okay. All right.
That says, "Hey Foreman, it's 8:57 p.m. Monday night, game 7, and my fun neighbor decides to fire up their lawnmower."
Oh, no.
FML.
That's not
Oh,
not
boy.
good.
What
No.
time are you cutting your grass these days, Foreman?
Saturday
Now that-
morning at about 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
good call.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hershey lady left us a message, by the way. We have
nice.
a real name, but
Joanne?
Yeah.
think it's
How could I
Joanne.
rate? And because she was trying to rate the episodes, I think on Spotify. How could I rate
Oh.
just one? I absolutely love them all. I've never in my life listened to a podcast until Dune to Underwhelming Demand was born.
Oh,
the sound
nice.
of your voices
Thank you.
warm my heart.
Oh, isn't that nice? That's very nice.
That's very nice. That reminds me that on Apple Podcasts, we are not a 5-star podcast, and I don't know why. Somebody somewhere along the line gave us like 1 star.
I
like
love that.
no reason.
I just love it. I
know. I know.
It makes me very happy.
I was trying to find like who gave us the 1 star. Anyway.
Yeah. It makes me happy.
Dave, you remember how Debbie wrote us a few emails where she said I wasn't her favorite anymore? And
yes.
You delighted in that?
Yes.
Well, Debbie has also left us a Spotify comment.
Oh, great.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. And sorry, Dave.
Oh.
I hope you enjoyed it because it says, Dave and Forman, why are you always so mean to Rachel? Rachel, how do you put up with them?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't put up with it, to be honest with you.
Forman and
then they look at me like this.
Forman,
we really made her mad this time.
Yeah, it's not. We tease because we love. That's always been the motto of this. If
I didn't like you, I wouldn't make fun of you.
Yeah, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't make fun of you. But sometimes, honestly, Debbie, she does bring it on.
I don't do that.
Yeah, yes, you do.
There are so many things I could make fun of you for, and I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Such as
not all of them. Not all of them.
That's really mean.
Learning to hold back.
That's very
Who's
mean.
the meanest now?
Yeah. Thanks, Debbie. Now we're fighting. Have a great time. Thank you.